Yeah, that's another thing with the timing. You got the first GOP debate coming next week, and sure, most of the candidates are shills. But what if a Ron Paul type candidate were to start asking serious questions about when are we going to leave Afghanistan?
Oh, no, Lindsey Graham, the senator, the carbon tax lover, was on Fox TV this morning saying, we've got to make national security the #1 issue with this Republican debate coming up. We've got to make that the issue. Notice if you go to Drudge, which I understand why, it's the same things happened to our website, Infowars.com, PrisonBonnet.com. It's pushed all the dollar plunging. China urges immediate end. You know, the dollar system, China urges dumping dollar, China cuts reserves. All this huge stuff's happening. Gas prices explode, housing prices go down, joblessness goes up, consumer confidence goes down. I mean, just incredibly scary things are happening to our economy, our whole way of life, and then this happens right on time.
Yeah, we got a bump in the war on terror, but we lost the war on poverty again, and we lost the war on drugs again, and all the rest of it, the war on housing, the war on the dollar.
Well, I've done my best. The point is they tried to laugh at us last night and this morning with our articles. It's a big deal that all these State Department people and White House people, one of which went public on my show, #2 at the Department of Treasury. I had to call him before I leave because he called today. I need to get him on the show tomorrow, 11 a.m. Former head of Pakistani intelligence is coming on as well tomorrow again with more. I mean, this is a big deal that we have these articles, and then we went and culled out all the times the Democrats said, no, this is going to be staged. They knew. I mean, they had him on ice. He was dead.
Yeah. It's totally creepy. And we still have them talking about a new Oklahoma City from last year. Will Obama stage another terror attack? That could still happen. We hope not.
And you know, they're totally hyping the terror. All those White House advisors openly saying how great a terror attack would be. And then we say, hey, the government's staging terror. And they're like, oh, you're a kook. And I'm like, but all these governments throughout history have done it. And we've got all these White House advisors saying how great it would be. I mean, it's like when you live in reality and you're informed and you study, it's like dirty and bad, Aaron.
But the whole claim of 160 nukes, if that's anything at all other than smoke and mirrors, you know those nukes were literally given by Western powers, if not our country directly. Al-Qaeda couldn't produce. Where's their uranium enrichment labs?
How do you smuggle them?
How long did
Aaron,
it take
Aaron.
enough uranium for the first
Aaron, how are you? They said most of them are buried under federal buildings. How in Hades are you going to carry a nuke, bury it, it's there for a decade, and it's going to work? It's all just, it's total bull.
Well, I'm with you.
It's like telling you there's snipe hunting. Ever been taking snipe hunting?
No, but I hope they don't blow something up.
Well, can you? They're getting people primed right now. Can you imagine how the cowardly public is going to fall down on their knees and say, take my pension funds? You know, I had a good friend I knew from Access TV for many years. He was a big pro-lifer, had a lot of courage, been arrested many times. George Woolley. And about a month after 9/11, I was on air saying it was an inside job, and he came to me in the parking lot and he said, I want him to put a chip in me. I want him to take my rights away. I want to defeat these Muslims. I was just like, come on, man. I go, Bin Laden is CIA, and he's like, conspiracy theorist. I go, man, it's mainline history. And he just said, I don't want my freedom, and ran into the building. And it's just tribal. Because even intelligent people have an instinct that when they're told an outside threat's attacking them, it's all instincts. It's like a tiger is really smart. But if you are a woodworker, somebody who works in the woods as a woodsman in India, you wear a mask on the back of your head because they won't attack something looking at them. That's instinct. It creeps them out because it's a bad move to grab a predator, you know, when it's looking at you. They'll eat a man, but they like to grab him from behind because they know a man might have a weapon. It's the same thing. I mean, they just dress up in a demon outfit and use television, and they've studied all our primal anthropology, and they go, oh, Bin Laden, he can get you. Give me your bank account. And then the good guy shows up on the puppet thing and pushes him off and goes, get out of here, bad man. I'll keep you safe, TV watcher. Just let me run everything, and don't worry and don't ask questions. By the way, I need your sons and daughters to join my military, to go take the foreign sea where there is oil. I will protect you. And they just like, oh, my hero, oh, I will do it. I mean, it's so elementary, Aaron.
It's really sad. I understand how people get caught up in it when the war fervor's kicking. I remember that time after 9/11, but my instincts kicked in. I hope other people will recognize their own instincts too.
Well, I told us to go ahead.
Well, the facts just later verified my gut-level instinct, and that's one of the few times I really have had a strong gut in my gut-level feeling like this is not what they're saying.
I knew. I could feel it coming. And then when it happened, my wife, my girlfriend at the time, she ran to the store, and they just so happened to have a big supply of them that day. Red, white, and blue. A little word went out. Make sure we get the flags and everything ready. A little something special's coming. U.S. forces were massing in and around Afghanistan at the time. Bush signed the launch order the day before. And she came home with a red, white, and blue candle, and everybody had the flags out. And I went ahead and let her, actually, because and later I came and brought them in. She kind of got mad. She said, I don't care. Those people are dead. And I said, by doing that, it creates a solidarity around the attack the globalists are going to launch. This is tribal. And then it will let them use the people they murdered to empower what they've done. You need to go out and expose this is staged. And she was like, I know you're right about this stuff, but I just don't know if I can believe it. It's so horrible. And I was like, well, that's history. But I said, they blew those buildings up. I said, you know I predicted all this. And later she's like, okay, fine, I'll take them in. But they were out there for a while. And about a year later, she said, you were absolutely right. I was used. And they use your goodwill, so you go out and advertise their lie for them. You see how that works?
Well, who was it said fascism would come wrapped in a flag? Certainly the sentiment of that quote has proved true. I don't remember the author of it, but...
I forget too, Aaron. It's just, this is their new 9/11. I mean, they did the big spectacular towers blowing up and everything else, but now this is the pride thing. It's like the military. They break you down, they build you up. You know, it's like, we were beat, we couldn't get him. It was lies about WMDs. I think they're going to find the WMDs.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they have control of the area. They could put it in at any time. Of course.
Man. I'm just sick of seeing people willfully getting conned. Because people are like children. They think their emotions make reality. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, we got them. I'm feeling good. They report, I saw a news report, the bars last night and today, people are drunk at 10 a.m. when they open. It's just nationwide. Just, it's like their ego is through this whole thing.
Yeah, in whatever fashion, it's clear they feed off of that psychic energy in some form or fashion, just for everyone to buy into the fervor and go along with the big staged events.
I know how to make this make more sense. Just have it say exclusive, quote, Bin Laden dead, hoax exposed, in quotes. Doesn't that make sense? I know that's my headline, but it doesn't look right. Exclusive, Bin Laden dead, hoax exposed.
But that is up on InfoWars and on YouTube.
If people, and it is happening, most people have suspicions about this, and the media is just giving, you know, ear because it's the agenda to the people that are just in addled rapture right now. This is just so ridiculous, Aaron. I mean, my gut and the intellectual evidence, this is 100% fake. And as ridiculous as it seems, it's nothing compared to them vaporizing those buildings and blowing Building 7 and having the cops up there saying, get back, we're going to blow Building 7. And then saying, we didn't blow Building 7, what? We have the video. The firefighters going, yeah, there was molten lava everywhere. They blew them. You see the bombs going off? I mean, the firefighters are saying this. And the cops are like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Get back. They're going to blow it.
We live under that paradigm illustrated by the Goebbels quote, the bigger the lie, the more they believe it, even though we've been warned of the opposite. FDR, not that he was perfect, far from it, but warned that events that appear staged probably are, that anything big that happens in government, you can bet it was planned that way, right? So there's every reason to question, especially in an age of television, when events, hyper-real events, are easily manipulated, when reality is created within the television. But somehow we forgot to question those events and started taking them as literal reality instead of checking into them. I mean, we all know how unreal reality television is. It's selective editing, it's situational circumstance, but we begin perhaps to believe that's real life. Well, somehow that translated over into real political events as well, and we started believing what we see on the television.
Well, that's right. And by the way, I've seen some emails and some calls. InfoWars got multi-millions of visitors, and most people exaggerate. We're not exaggerating, millions. And record internet audience, record podcast download. I mean, this is scary. I've had 3 IT people on it all day trying to keep it up. It went down off and on for about an hour when the show started at 11 a.m. And I'm getting calls and emails, and people are saying, hey, why can't we comment on InfoWars? They did some emergency backup thing with the caching servers. Instead of having 2 of them, they busted it into 8, and the site's being served right now, total off something like 15 servers or more. And so we're just blessed that it's even up. Okay, so no conspiracy. You can comment on my Facebook. You can comment on the YouTube videos. And some of the comments get through. I saw a test you did 3 hours ago.
I think that's because I'm an admin. I was trying to figure out what was going on. That was before
I noticed on one story you're the only commenter and there's no others.
That has, for some reason, that's because I'm an admin or something. Because,
well, whatever. It's not a conspiracy. We want your comments. We enjoy them. As long as you're not calling for killing people, we don't take your comments down. Truth is, we got like 2 part-time people moderating anyways. We only hired them because I've had the Secret Service and FBI here so much because of the comments. The trolls trying to set us up. But the comments are down right now. What are we going to do with all this traffic now with this new fix? I guess comments are just dead. Because I told the other IT guys, I'm like, look, these comments are dead. They're like, what? What? And I'm like, look, 3-hour-old story, 0 comments. They're like, well, there's Aaron. And I go, you think there's been 1 comment on a top story when we've got 2 million people visiting the site today? I mean, this morning before the site went down, they put an article up in like 10 minutes. There'd be 500 comments on it. And now there's 0 comments. I know. I'm just glad you guys can even keep it up. I just want to get the fact here that the comments are dead. But it's not just Aaron. A few of them are on there. Like go to Infowars.com. See, now we're just doing management here on the air. Man, I'm dead tired. I didn't go to bed till about 3. Got up at 6. Mm-hmm. Kurt Nimmo was up all night. He was so tired today. He was... Did you see that typo? His nickname around the office is Typo Man. Now, he's gotten really better about it, but...
well, he did 4 or 5 stories as well.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. Hey, I'm dingy right now. I mean, I had fight left in me wanting to do more radio after I did 3 or 4 other interviews after the show today, but I got to be honest with you right now, I feel completely punch drunk. See, that says no comments, and you put it up an hour ago. This one was posted 3 hours ago, or about 5:20, so more than that. And it's got 1 comment, that's you. And then final fake bin Laden tape in the pipeline, no comments. That's been up for about 5 hours. Intel chief, they killed make-believe Osama. Kurt's hilarious typo was a little something associated with that name. And look, no comments. 0. Absolutely 0. So I just want to ascertain the comments are broken. Because you saw me 2 hours ago when it was...
Well, there's no doubt about it. They brought the site back to life early this morning because of all the traffic, and I don't know the reasons, but obviously they have that cordoned off for some reason.
Well, when they first brought it back up at noon, when it was down totally for an hour, slow before that, getting hit by the hammer of the population, the hammer of Valhalla, and then you'd see slow comments. They weren't really all getting through, and then it just went... Talk about ending with a whimper. We've just covered all this monumental news. Let me say this in summation, and you can take me out with a Flight of the Valkyries, please, since we were bringing up Valhalla. Ragnarok, Gudurdamarong, Twilight of the Gods, that's what the globalists believe they're entering. They will create a Armageddon-type situation if they're not stopped. They are fully hyping that the war on terror is back. The terror threat is bigger than it has ever been. You better give all your rights up. The torture, the secret arrest, the extrajudicial killings, the TSA rolling out on the streets of America. All of it is great because we got bin Laden right on the heels of this staged revolution all over the Middle East with the globalists trying to take down these countries. And now they're saying Pakistan may have been with bin Laden. We may have to go in against them with India. I mean, this is incredible. Great job, Aaron. Great job, crew. Great job, everybody at Infowars.com. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.